Hi guys, I thought I'd start putting some little intros into the videos here. Probably ought to get me a tripod. But anyway, you can see behind me here I'm working on these Chrysler doors, and that's what this video basically is about. Ran out of gas the other day, had to go get some more, and those little 2-pound spools didn't work out. So I got a big roll, and I went over here to the lathe and I made an adapter to hold the big spool. But I'm trying to give you a little bit of what's going on. I've got these doors here that I'm going to have to make a door frame for and put them into the Chrysler so I can set the tail and the cowl up. But I just thought I'd give you a little personal thing on each video. I see Bad Chat every day. He's got something up, and Rat Rod Bob, of course, he's a funny guy. You know, if you don't know anything about Rat Rod Bob, you ought to check him out. You know, he's a funny guy. And I thought I'd just give this a little personal flavor. And so I'd ask you to just like the video, you know, if you do like it. If you don't like it on there. And I'm just one guy in a little garage here, and kind of old and tired and had heart failure, so I'm doing the best I can. But I'm still plenty smart. I'm not as strong or can work as long as I used to. But anyway, I'd appreciate it if you'd support the channel. You know, refer a friend, have them check it out. If you find something in here that is interesting to you, let me know. I'll answer all the comments. And I'll just keep pressing on to these two projects here. I've got this 37 Dodge here behind me. It's almost done. I got quite a bit of little stuff to do to it, but you know, I'm tired of working on it. And on the Chrysler here, I got a lot of fabrication, you know, a lot of missing pieces that I'm going to have to make. And I like that. I like solving problems and fixing things, and you know, I get 95% done, and there's really not much interest in me and, you know, making the Bondo pretty and putting good paint on it. And, I mean, I can do it, and I have done it, and I do like to do it, but I don't really have the setup for it. I've got so much trash and stuff around here on the floor. I don't even, I try to blow it out every few days. But I have trouble bending over picking up stuff, so if it's on the floor, it stays there until I get down, and then I'll pick up whatever I can get while I'm down. Anyway, just a little personal thing here. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you coming back. And like Waylon Wire, you know, we sure do appreciate you. You know, there's a lot of great guys on YouTube. And I'm not one of the great guys, but I do have a lot of interesting projects, and I'm moving along, and we moved into this new house, and so now I've got a shop and a garage, and so this summer I'll get this 37 Dodge fixed and finished and sold, and that'll give me about $10,000 that I can play with, and by that time I should have this Dodge Coupe running and driving. I've got the motor set over there. I got a good deal on the transmission, I thought. It's a transmission that fits it with 2-year warranty. It's supposed to have 60,000 miles on it. I gave them the motor numbers off the block, so I get a transmission and a converter, and they want another $150 for the drive line. $850 for the transmission. And I told him, I'll tell you what, you know, I'll give you $850 for the transmission, and you just put the drive line on the pallet. So they said, okay. So I'll have a transmission here in the next couple of weeks. I ordered all the bearings and stuff for this 360 Mopar over here, and I'll put bearings in it and make a video of that. I'll paint it up good, and this will be the motor for the Chrysler. So I'll have a little bit of more interest in stuff. I just get tired of welding and grinding and sanding and welding and grinding and sanding, and so this will be a kind of a good change. And then I'm going to have to put the motor in that Chrysler and fabricate motor mounts, and you know, building a whole car out of nothing really. And so look forward for hopefully more interesting content. And like I said, please like it and subscribe. I'd like to get the channel to 1,000 subscribers, and then I can monetize it. Not that I'll get much out of it, but tell a friend, and let's see if we can push on and find some interesting stuff happening. Thanks a lot. Sure do appreciate you. Bye-bye. Well, I got me a big roll of welding wire, and my little collar will fit into it, but I need an adapter to go into the onto the welder shaft. Needs to be 2 inches. I got a piece of aluminum here. I've got it down to 220. Whittle it down to 2 inches. Got quite a ways to go. And I got 75 thousandths left. This doesn't have to be accurate at all. Just got to fit the hole. 230. So 240, 75 thousandths. It took about 30 thousandths off with half a turn. I'll take another half a turn here. This is marked in metric, so I haven't figured it out yet. That was at 250. Half a turn roughly gave me 198. So I'm down to 2 inches. That should fit it. I'll clean up this, and then I'll have to bore a hole in it, trim it up so it'll fit the welder. I trimmed it down and bored a hole in it. Now I'm just trim it down here. big cut. It's working. Make the edge of it kind of thin so I don't put a lot of spring on the thing just from the spacer. I'm gonna have to do this by hand. The lathe don't have a cross feed. Big cut, it's pulling it down at that, and that's just got a little slower. Running about 630. Pretty good speed for aluminum. I don't know what I'm taking, probably 50 thousandths cut. Anyway, a couple more passes, I'll be done. Well, I got it in, and it's holding good, feeding good, so saved quite a bit of money over the regular roll of wire. And I got me I tried it here in a few places, works good again. No more of that splattery flux core. And I got some steel. Well, there's 60 feet of 1 inch. That's going to be enough to make this cowl frame. I got this 2-inch piece here. I got 8 feet of it. And that's going to be the bottom of the door jamb. Don't know what I'm gonna need to do here. I did some measuring here. Got a little glass windshield in there that will work. Got these wheels on it. They look pretty decent. Ordered some the right lug nuts for it. These are unilug, and I got the Ford washers for it. I bought a strut rod here, brand new one. I only had one, and then I got to digging around and I had 3 of them. So now I got 4. So that's all good. I'll probably use one of the old ones because they got the bolts in them already pressed in, and maybe I'll knock the bolts out of one of them. We'll see, but I got strut rods for the front end. So now I'm gonna have to cut this pipe business out of here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. I think I'll put 4 feet in it. This is an 8-foot piece. I'll cut it in half, and I'll weld it in place of this piece of pipe, and that'll give me plenty of length here. I'll clean this door here up, or the jamb. I need to tack it onto the body. I'm not exactly sure how to go about this yet, but I was watching Rat Rod Bob, and I like the way he did his. And he just made a square out of 2" on the bottom and made the cage out of 1". So I guess that's the first thing, to probably just put that, you can see the edge of that panel over there. You know, the round rod's going up. This one, can't really tell, but I think what I need to do is put that square piece in here, use whatever 4 feet I got, and see how far it goes here. That'll be the first thing, I guess. I'll just cut this out of here, put that square piece on it. I can just tack it in a couple places, and then this will sort of tell me where how much I got here in the front. Maybe I'll just cut that and lay it in there now. And this is how I decided to go with this. This is the bottom of the door, and I'll center this 4 feet here. So I have a few inches in the front. I probably need more in the back. Doesn't really make any difference. And then I clamped a piece of 1/8 in here, and you can see I've got a little bit of a gap there, but where I want to get it here is right here on this hinge, and on the front of this thing. We look over here, we can see we don't have a hell of a lot there. So, but this has got to be welded into this running board part, floor of it needs to be welded into this big brace here that's for the door jamb. The gap's not perfect, but I can fool around with that a little. Over here the hinge is not closed all the way either, so I can fix that. But it looks like it's cut fairly straight. I need to add about 1/8 of an inch onto the hinge and the door jamb itself. Probably the best way to do that, I've got some fairly thick plate there. It's about 1/8 of an inch. So I need to cut a little square section and weld it into this door jamb real good here. Get it all good and level. What I'll do is cut out anything that's sticking up, and weld me a little square plate on there so I can weld it all the way around real good on this stuff here, and I have to put more braces in it right up in this area. And the same thing with this one's not too bad. I've got a 2-inch piece in there. It shouldn't be too hard to make a little plate to hold that, and that way the bottom of the door will fit. And we'll just call that good. I don't know how close to a 90 we've got here. This is not really very good at checking. It's too small. I really can't see much of anything. That's not too bad though. I don't know how well this is cut. I probably ought to go off the back of this hinge to see what's 90. Anyway, I'll probably through the center of this hinge, up like that, which is not even close. I'm just guessing, but should make the hinge 90 and let the back go wherever it goes, because this door is, well, I'll make the hinge 90 and then I'll measure over exact amount for the front and back of the door. If this door jamb isn't fitting, I can get in here and hammer and tweak this. Even if I have to, I can weld up the door here, make a good gap. So I think this is the way to do it, is make the door and the door sill, make that all straight, and then once I got that done, I can figure out a way to mount this onto the frame. I've got some big old brackets over there. I'll probably make this this cage for both doors in one piece, and that way I could take the doors off and then bolt it and take the center of it out. I don't want to just start welding everything all together. I'd rather have bolts on it, so I at least got a little wiggle room to straighten everything out and adjust it. But I think this is the way to go. Just weld up both doors with a sill plate, and I'll probably, well, I don't know, I think I'll probably just weld this bottom first, and then the verticals on it, you know, they can be moved around a little bit. I doubt if this is all real straight to start with. I need to put a couple little 3/8 spacers in there to duplicate this. And so I think that's the way to do it. Start from the bottom up and get this door where it's gonna open and close on its own hinges into its jamb. Get that all solid, and then I can mount this whole piece. I can mount this into the frame over there, and after I've got it in the frame or bolted down to the frame, then of course I can wiggle the cowl around in the back and do all that. But the main thing is I got to get the doors on it first. That's the main cage of it, so it's got to be all real straight. And of course I haven't forgot about the Dodge, even though it says Ford. Went to the steel place today and I got a 4-inch, no, it's about 5 or 6 inches steel plate, 14 gauge. It's pretty heavy, and up in there where that piece of rebar is, I'm gonna make like a roll pan. Don't know exactly what I'll do, but it'll go inside the tailgate there, and that'll get welded up, and that'll give it even more strength. And the main thing, it'll have a nice curve going down. It'll cover up all of this bed hole, and I can bring it up into this thing here, so it'll be welded into it, and then the bin part will just go down and make a roll pan. So I don't think we'll have any trouble with that. I'll get to measuring and see what I can do about bending this piece, tack it in. I started mocking up this A-pillar here on the good door. I laid me some little 1/2 inch in here and tacked little 3/8 in it. This one here don't look like it tacked very well, but I just want to be able to take them out anyway. So this is good enough. I can just clamp it. So I'm going to flip it up. I got a couple blocks there. This is a 4-foot piece. I probably got about 7 inches of sticking out there. I got a couple blocks that I can put this on upside down, and I can put this other 2x piece in here, 2x1, and see what my bottom of my door is going to look like. Well, I put my little 1/8 inch piece in here for a spacer. Make sure the door will close. You can see it sticking out here, and that's the door frame. It looks, you know, crooked to the door, but if I take it to the top here, I've got another piece of 1 inch just clamped on here. I'm gonna put one more clamp in the bottom there. There we go. I got this 1 inch clamp to the other 1 inch, and I'm assuming that they're pretty straight. And I come up here and I used a piece of angle iron. Again, I'll need to use a square, but you can see there that it's pretty square with the this part is square with the top of the frame by the window. So I don't know if we can see in there, but you can see that it's going to have to be cut at a little bit of an angle. This angle right here, in fact, because it started bending down here and bent in. So this has got to be flush with the top of the door at a 90-degree angle. So this looks pretty good. I just have to trim this piece so I can weld it. And I've got it, well, it moved around a little bit, but basically I've got it touching the inside of this hinge here on top, and same thing right in here. So it's following the curve of this thing. I can just tap it and knock it in a little. Oh yeah. That's more or less a little better where it needs to go. And my gap here got a little better, but basically it's the same. And so I'm square. So this will be basically where the floorboard goes. I just roughly split the difference here. Looks like about 7 inches here, 6 or 7 there. It's in the middle, more or less. And now I can find this piece here. This would be the door jamb. Yeah, I don't know if I've got it laying around here. Probably do somewhere, but I can clamp it in, and then I can figure out how to brace it. And here's the bottom of the rear door jamb the original guys had, and you can see there's a 1-inch piece in here, and then they just welded this little 1/2-inch piece in. Doesn't look real solid or anything. I can cut that out pretty easily and put another 1-inch piece here at the angle. So this would be good for the back of the door. And on this one, I've got the same setup here. One-inch piece and then a little 1/2-inch piece. So what I'll do is cut that 1/2-inch piece out of there and make a 1-inch piece that'll fit from here up to the jamb. This way the whole door jamb will be 1-inch piece, and it'll be welded into the floorboard or baseboard, whatever you want to call it, sill plate. And this will put me straight with the hinges. I'll have to play with that a little, of course. And I'll have the right gap here, and I'll have the back of it coming up welded into the door jamb. So basically the hinges and the frame of the door will all be square, tight and right, as Bad Chad says. And then I'll have to, on this one, mock up some more of that 1-inch around, make the rest of the frame for the top of the door. Same thing with this one. I don't know how long I'll make the pieces, but it's been cut off, so I'll just weld another piece on it. So this will give me both doors and the door frame all built out of 2-inch on the bottom and 1-inch all the way around here. I'll probably put an extra 3 or 4 inches on the part that goes over the top of the door, like I got here. That's a 4-foot piece, so it left me plenty. This other piece I'm using for a straight edge will go in the front. And then when I can figure out, I'll have to make the upper door frame I don't know how I'll do that. I'll probably make it out of a piece of 1/2-inch square and bend it so it'll fit the door, and then weld it into the frame. And then I'll have to make some way of mounting it on the roof. But basically, here's both doors and the door frames. I got to do quite a bit of cutting and measuring. I still have to finish welding this door up and put some braces on the inside. But that's the plan for the project. Once I can get these 2 door frames built, then I can go over to the car frame, and I've got good tin on the back, so I can measure that. I can set the back of the door. The frames will be the same, and then wherever the cowl fits is where the cowl fits. I have a transmission here in the next couple of weeks. I ordered all the bearings and stuff for this 360 Mopar over here, and I'll put bearings in it and make a video of that. I'll paint it up good, and this will be the motor for the Chrysler. So I'll have a little bit of more interest in stuff. I just get tired of welding and grinding and sanding and welding and grinding and sanding, and so this will be a kind of a good change. And then I'm going to have to put the motor in that Chrysler and fabricate motor mounts, and building a whole car out of nothing really. And so look forward for hopefully more interesting content. And like I said, please like it and subscribe. I'd like to get the channel to 1,000 subscribers, and then I can monetize it. Not that I'll get much out of it, but tell a friend, and let's see if we can push on and find some interesting stuff happening. Thanks a lot. Sure do appreciate you. Bye-bye.